So a lot of people ask me about my personal spiritual practices, the day-to-day spiritual practices, or how to integrate a spiritual life within the context of living a modern lifestyle, or maybe even integrate it with religious principles. I don't think anything that I practice spiritually goes against any of the religions, but let me know if this is not correct. In any event, here's what I do day to day, and I never miss it. All spiritual practices have to do with taming the mind. The moment you tame the mind, the body is automatically being tamed. And this is how you tame the mind. You have to have a consistent practice via segmenting the day. So I segment the day in the morning and in the evening. For the morning, I have three principles that I base my morning on, and they are gratitude, awareness, and healing. The gratitude part is the simplest one, and it's probably the most important, and it's extremely important you do it first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. I wake up, and the moment I feel the awareness coming back in my body, I'm like, wow, another day. Thank you. Thank you for this bed. It's so comfortable being in my bed. I feel so safe in my home. I'm so happy I have this home. And I think of all the things that are working in my life. I know there's going to be coffee. There's going to be a delicious breakfast. I know my family is safe. And I am grateful for all these things, for the things I already have. So in the morning, you give gratitude for 30 seconds for the things you already have. I follow that by my physical morning routine. And by the time I come downstairs for coffee, when I'm having my coffee is where I spend the most amount of time, because that's also the time where I do my entries or I journal. But the most important thing I do is come into awareness, right? So I fix my point of awareness on myself on the day. And my prayer is, and my intention is not to get lost in my unconscious, in my desires, and in my thoughts, not to get lost in my idle mind throughout the day. You can say a prayer or you can set an intention to be present, to be aware. I want to be aware. I want to be here. I want to be with myself. Again, this takes about a minute to do. And then if you have a practice where you journal, where you do your entries, maybe you do the 60-day challenge with us, that takes another 15 minutes or so. The third part of my morning/daily practice has to do with healing. And for that, I have a prompt that I do when I walk in the world. When I see the first person who is not well, who maybe is just physically, obviously not well, but also maybe has a sad face, maybe I know something is going on with them. That's my prompt. That's how I identify my prompt. And that's where I send healing energy towards them. And I also give gratitude for my own health and my own healing. I recognize in my spiritual practice that without our health, we are nothing. And when you don't have your health, you don't care about anything else. You don't care about romantic relationships, money, jobs, or anything like that. So for me, a practice that's centered around giving and receiving health is absolutely paramount in all your other manifestations. So again, I use a prompt, and my prompt is when I walk in the world and I see somebody's not well, I exchange some of my energy for their healing, and I receive from the universe my own healing and health. Now, in the evening, my practices are more esoteric or of that nature. You can integrate this with your religious prayer or practices, but I have three pillars in the evening as well. One is awareness of signs and prompts and the way the universe communicates with me. I call that understanding. The second thing is alignment with the will of the divine. And then the third one is gratitude, but it's gratitude for the future. In my first pillar, the understanding is my desire and intention to constantly communicate with source or the universe. I want to understand the message that is being given to me as much as I want the universe and God to understand what I am saying. And for this, I interpret the signs that are given to me. I always ask, what could this mean? What else could this mean? Where could I do better? And that is about communicating with the universe and being able to receive direction on what to do next. I say out loud, I want to understand. And I have much more of a personal prayer or intention setting and practice that I do, but you don't have to. This whole practice can be 30 seconds. Set your intention to understand, to bring yourself to a level of consciousness where you no longer live just based on the day-to-day prompts. You want to understand the universe. My second pillar is alignment, and here's where you either meditate or pray. And that prayer has to do with, I want to be in alignment with divine's will to my highest good. For this, you have to believe that the universe or God has your highest and best interest at heart. I want to learn any lessons that are here for me quickly, and I want to align with the flow, the normal flow of life, not the flow of life that society imposes on us, the flow of life where I grow and I prosper every single day. And for me, this becomes a physical sensation. Again, that can be developed through a practice, yoga, meditation, prayer, or whatever else you want to do. But the intention is, I want to go with the flow of the Creator and not with the flow of the world. Finally, the evening gratitude is centered around thank you that I'm able to be at a level of consciousness where I understand and I can align. And thank you for all the goodness and my goals that are coming to me now, because I intend that my goals are to the highest benefit of all, or help me change them to be to the highest benefit of all. But thank you that you are now in charge of my goals and fulfilling my goals based on your infinite intelligence. I trust and I have faith. In summary, my spiritual practice is about aligning with a higher force that runs this world, that runs this universe, and runs it correctly if you let it, and if you submit to it, and if you trust it. And then, of course, the more important part is, I want to contribute. As long as you have these two intentions, I really do believe that your life will be really good.